everyone, welcome to this video. I am Marco Martinez, CEO of M2R Games.
And I'm Jose Herrero, CM of M2R Games.
Exactly, and we are going to explain why Warlords of Terra is a great game. It's a great bet, a great project to support, and why you are going to really enjoy this new experience. And we'll explain it through 5 points. And before that, well, I'd like Josh to explain why he decided to join the project and what he found interesting about it.
First of all, I meet Warlords of Terra in the first demos that the M2R Games company made in Valencia. And I'm from the war games world. I like to play a lot of games. I play card games, miniature games, and other stuff. And in this case, when the first day I say the game, I have to admit that it's an incredible game with a lot of strategy, a lot of great mechanics, and with probably one of the best deck buildings I ever seen. It's an incredible game with incredible art, the heroes, the cards, the summons. It's awesome. I think it's one of the best games I met in my life. And one of the best things for the game is that it's easy to learn and you can play really different type of decks. So it's really great for if you are a hard player that like to focus on strategic, focus on deck building. It's correct.
Okay, so we'll try to explain, as I said before, through 5 points, and it's time to go for the first point, the battlefield. The battlefield. Well, this is the main factor that makes it special Warlords of Terra, and it makes the difference because it changes the experience of any card game you probably have ever played. You need in this game you need a playmat, and your opponent needs the same playmat, maybe other design but same structure, and you have to put them together, together opposite one to the other, to form the real battlefield in which your troops will have to move. Okay, so it's not the same when you just attack and defend, but you also have to move troops across this battlefield to reach the enemy lines and hit your opponents. And most important is when your troops face enemy troops in the middle of the battlefield. So, what's your experience about the battlefield factor, Josh?
I think it's the way that the game moves closer to a more strategic game. Normally in trading card games you are one-to-one battle. Here you have to choose wisely. You have to look all the battle map for move your troops, sneak attack other troops, prepare your strategy, and focus how to damage directly your opponent. You have to battle with monsters for protect your life points, and one of the most important things, every movement counts. It's really important when you learn to play the game, how you move the troops, how you play the cards in the playmat. It's really adding a new experience for the trading card games. Because first of all, this is not a trading card game; it's a battlefield factor card game.
Yes,
so you can improve really the use of the playmat for a real battle experience.
But well, we have to recognize, and we can recognize that it's based or inspired in some famous in all the world trading card games. Okay, we are experienced players, and they are part of our inspiration. So you will find familiar points and common with TCGs, but this is another kind of game. We'll explain this later. But well, to resume this, the spatial tactics you have to develop, where to deploy, how to move, and when to do it, changes completely your experience, and you will have an unforgettable and really unique experience. You would like to repeat and repeat and repeat.
Again and again and again.
Exactly. So, finishing with this, well, we have to introduce the next point, point 2, which is called DDR system, or double deck and resource system. Let's go with it.
Are you tired of drawing 3 resource cards consecutively in 3 turns? No, we got the solution, the DDR system. DDR system means double deck and resource system. It's a system that this game got, and it's really awesome because you got 2 decks, one with the resources and one with the summons, the spells, and all the other stuff that you can play. So you probably got better look and you know how deck you will go into draw each turn. Now Marco, or the
CEO.
The CEO of Warlords of Terra, is going to explain more about this awesome system. So Marco, please.
Thank you. Well, until now you probably think you have seen this system many times in many games, but there is something that makes it really special and unique here in Warlords of Terra. This is not just a matter of separating decks, and well, when I want I draw resource card, and when I want I draw battle card. It's not just that, and playing one card each turn for free and making completely straight or line with no evolution game. No. In this case we have a building deck in which place cards also have a cost. So, and here comes the double resource system, which is gold and mana. On each turn the player will add 1 gold and 1 mana, and gold has the protagonism to build our first place cards. For example, it's very common to play in our first turn for 1 gold our place, which adds for the next turn 1 mana, and then we'll start developing, or maybe choosing a card which needs 2 of gold, but then adds more gold too, and we will accelerate our building rate. Getting to the point, it's not just a matter of separating decks, but also developing a strategy from the very beginning, from the building places, to be able to have more resources and deploy our game. And well, this is the base. If you want to know more, please take a look at our rulebook or more videos in which you will check how this is really different system.
That's true, it's one probably of the best systems I ever seen, because you always know which type of card are you going to draw, and I think that's really important, because in a lot of card games when you draw and you draw and you draw and the draws are really wrong. It's not the I think it's like saying wow, the game wants me to lose, and here you can play better and choose the options.
You can choose, but choose, what we want to say is choose wisely, because you have to develop your place cards wisely too. That's the main difference. Well, and leaving mechanics apart, let's go with point number 3, which will be art. And let's speak about art. Well, it seems that sometimes I feel like talking about art is just saying it's awesome and finished. Well, in this case, I think we have to say a little bit more. For example, talking about design. Design we consider is not a common design, because when we developed Warlords of Terra, the most common and the most seeked by developers was a very clean frame with a minimum of extra information or extra visual information. They left a lot of space for only the picture, the illustration, and the minimum for the text. Well, we said no. We went back a little bit to 90s and we said we love hardcore and we decided to introduce these very strong and significant frames to the cards. You can see the image on the screen and observe how you can see from 10 meters one card and identifying perfectly the kingdom which belongs to. And that's the part of for us, that's the part of the identity of the card. And well, if you add to this factor that makes the player feel maybe almost inside a kingdom, if you add to this time we have to say awesome illustrations.
Really awesome.
So you finally have a very, very, very attractive game in our opinion, at least, and you can judge by yourself. Well, what can say to the future players about the art? What's your opinion? Or
I think one of the best things of Warlords of Terra, talking about the gameplay, one another great thing is the art. It's incredible to see how, for example, the heroes are depicted in the cards, the union of the cards, the creatures, the magical creatures are able to make so cool. And really, one of the other things that I love about the game is that every kingdom has an identity. That's really strange in the trading card games I play usually, because there are a lot of changes of maybe the painters and that, and here you got like an union, like it's
yes,
what you can say that.
Yes, I didn't explain that, but in fact it's the frame. It's we observed that these strong frames made from different styles and illustrators, sorry, with very different styles and levels, even levels we can talk about. The force or the strength better than the force.
Yeah.
Force is with you.
The force with you.
Well, the strength of the frame makes a global coherence into the kingdom, so it dissolves the difference between artists and puts all styles together under one kingdom and one identity, and that's something I love.
Yeah,
from
it's
the
one
art.
of the best things of when you play a game and you are playing and you are wasting time looking at your awesome cards. It's really fantastic.
It happens to me many times. Not only with this game, of course, it happens with this game, but with other games, I'm the typical player that maybe spends 10 seconds looking at a card. Maybe you think he's thinking about the final strategy, and then just looking. Oh my god, this is awesome. this illustration is like awesome.
Wow.
Well, and
that's a great sword. It's magnificent.
Yeah. Well, resuming, art is really a strong point of Warlords of Terra, and we want you to look at it, to judge, but also to touch and play it by yourself. So supporting this, you will support a really good job from many artists and designers, and thanks for that. Well, let's go with the fourth point, which is faction. Let's go. And we go with point 4, faction card game. Faction. This is a very important word for this point. You have seen different sales formats in card games. You know, you have the possibility of buying a game in booster packs. You can buy boxes which contain all the content inside them. The second case is more or less the case of Warlords of Terra, but even though in the core box you have 4 basic decks, and that's the main product for this Kickstarter, okay, the box with the 4 core decks, you will be able to expand your material by buying faction boxes or alliance boxes. What does it mean? Well, in traditional closed box games, you are obliged to buy the whole new content, and never mind which color you prefer, or which faction, which kingdom. In Warlords of Terra or what, you can choose the box of your preferred kingdom or the kingdom you enjoy playing, and just buying that box. It's as simple as that. And well, one product that we have a stretch goal in this Kickstarter. We could unblock the possibility of getting these boxes. Know that?
And it's important because they are really awesome. They add a new dimension for the game.
Yes, of course. It's not the same having the basic deck than having the whole material for a kingdom and make the deck building. We enjoy the most, maybe.
Yeah, the deck building is so awesome, and there are a lot of possibilities for each kingdom.
Different cards, different heroes, a lot of combinations. So, well, resuming the point, faction card game allows you to invest in the way you want. not in all the expansion. Of course, you will find all the expansions awesome, and you will probably want to get all of them. But it happens to many players.
It happens.
Yes, it happens. For example.
Yeah.
But only with one will be enough to have a 100% competitive deck, and we think this was important for players. Just one more point before leaving this part. In future expansions, faction or only one kingdom card boxes will be replaced by alliances. Alliance boxes will contain, it's the same, but will contain an alliance of 2 kingdoms. For example, Halcyons and Overlords will be together in the next expansion set. And after that, well, we finished with number 4. Let's go with number 5. Balanced and tested game. And let's go with the final point. This is a balanced and really tested game. Maybe you could think this is a Kickstarter. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to find, because it's just a prototype. It's been never played. It's never been really tested by people out of the team. That's not true. We've been. It's true. We were testing the game for almost 2 years to make it balanced and well-studied game. But in 2015, in fact 16, sorry, we released the game here in Spain, and since that moment, real players had the possibility to buy it and play it and test it, and the general sensation was that the game is really balanced, and it's a good experience. That's not only us who we are saying this to you. It's a fact. It's a proved fact that many players, we can say hundreds of players, have played the Warlords of Terra, and we could ensure you it's more than 95% of success, considering success players who really honestly liked the game and considered it well thought and well balanced. And well, Josh, you can talk a bit about tournaments and
Yeah.
kind of.
Okay, let's talk about the tournament play and the organized play here in Spain. If you know, Warlords of Terra has been released here in Spain, and there are, we have played a lot of tournaments. I love playing games, and I go to a lot of tournaments. And one of the best things of this is that we can prove that the game is balanced. So, for example, if you look at the tournaments, we got a lot of shop tournaments with were more than 20 players. Stuff like that. It's really good to know that the people enjoy playing the game in local store tournaments. It's one of the best things that the organized play has really done very well here in Spain. And then if you, for example, want to see matches and see how this game is balanced and tested, you can see the gameplays for the online tournament that we are hosting now in Crossmaster Team Spain. The tournament is named Champions of Terra. This year we are playing the second edition of the tournament, which more than 50 players, and in that kind of tournaments the players are probably like hard players. There are players that play a lot of games, so you can see them playing in this game and enjoying the magic of the Warlords of Terra. And it's one of the best things. The 4 kingdoms are being playable in competitive tournaments.
Yes.
So I think it's really well balanced. You can play the hero you want, the hero you have, the way you like, and that's one of the best important things in that kind of games. You can deploy your troops. You can choose which hero represents you, and when you play in tournaments, you can see that every kingdom has strategies, has tactics, and you can play the way you like, the kingdom you like. So it's really well balanced for all the players, I think.
All players, all experience, all systems, preferences to play. For example, control players, aggro players, you have options, you have different kingdoms, but not only that, you also have different strategies in each kingdom, because depending on the hero you choose and the cards you complement it with, you develop a different strategy. We didn't talk about that. In fact, it's a really interesting point.
It's really interesting because, for example, the same deck with a different hero can change a lot in the when you play the game.
Yes. In fact, you can trade. For example, you get the option to get the box and the additional heroes. You will check by yourself that you with the basic deck, just choosing Azrael or choosing Elizabeth or taking the Halcyons and Inashka or Bellatrix, the game changes. The game changes, and the necessities of the deck and the way you have to play to win, it's different. So imagine the possibilities if you combine your hero with more cards. That's the strongest factor of the deck building in our game. And well, to conclude the video, because we've been boring you a lot of time, yeah, we have to give some reference. Well, unfortunately, we don't have many international reference. We are really sorry for that, but we are plenty of references in Spain. Maybe you could use the Google Translator to check the opinions of different, not only card but also board gamers that have tried lots of games and tried our game too, and their opinions are generally good, we have to say. We'll leave you some links below in the campaign, okay, so check please. And of course, you can take a look at the almighty BGG, our page, Warlords of Terra, has an 8.5, which is really good mark.
Really good mark.
And it's been rated by players, which is the most important. I didn't ask only my friends to vote there, I promise. It's been voted by players, and maybe you can learn something about the real experience. And well, to finish, we have to thank you for watching the video, for your interest in the campaign, in our project. You will find very exciting the game. And Josh, something to finish?
If you really want a challenge, this is your game.
Exactly, because we have a slogan. End of game.
Challenge begins.
See you.
See ya.